All right, we are live on the Coach Eli television network. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the late night with Coach Eli edition. Glad you could all join me here today. I believe it is already Monday. It's after midnight. It is Monday, September 6th, 2021, the day that this live stream is being recorded. I believe it is Labor Day today. I believe it is Labor Day, right? Let me just make sure. Monday, September 6th, 2021, Labor Day in the United States. All right. You know, I got to tell you, when you do this YouTube thing and this online business thing for quite a while and you dedicate so much time and effort and energy into it, you kind of lose track of your days, and holidays just really don't mean anything anymore, especially when you're single like myself, right? No one's special to share the holidays with, right? Sounds so sad, but I'm not sad tonight. I actually feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. You know, I feel a really good shift. I'm heading my way and heading the way of anyone that associates with me. I'm bringing positive vibes to each and every one of you. Before we get to the monologue and this show tonight, let me make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out. Give me a second. My throat. Hold on. Can't wait for this allergy season to end. I'll tell you that. Hey, Lewis, how you doing, bro? Are you still around? Good morning, Eli. Just gave you a like. I will share your stream out. Thank you, Lewis. Maybe there are some people still up because most people aren't working tomorrow, so there may be some people still up. I hope that the YouTube live streaming server, runs okay today, because there were some major issues with it yesterday. I'm hoping today there aren't going to be any issues because I really don't want to re-upload this stream. Yesterday, there were about maybe 15 cutouts, and Holly, Hopeful, and Blessed was in the chat. First time in a while. She's been busy doing other things. And she said that YouTube all day was having issues. So that happens sometimes. It's a holiday weekend. People are home. They're streaming. They're watching YouTube. Plus, there are many disasters happening in many areas all over the U.S. We have lots of fires here in California, and back in the South, they have those tornadoes and stuff that have done damage, like Louisiana and other surrounding states in that area. So a lot of people are staying in, and what do they do when they stay in? They get on their mobile device and they watch YouTube, right? Anyway, let me make sure that the back end of YouTube is rolling smoothly, and it is. And the back end of Facebook is rolling well. And so is the back end of D Live. All right. Give me 1 second here. Give me just a second here. Let me get a drink. Oh, man, leave it to my allergies to be acting up right when I go live. And I just took my Flonase allergy medication, so forgive me. Lewis says, yes, my allergies have been a pain in the ass, too. Sorry to hear about that, Lewis. Sorry to hear about that. Anyway, let's get right to the show tonight. I'm only planning on being on for about an hour and a half. If it goes to 2 hours, that's the absolute max. I have a lot of things to do. I've got a pretty busy week ahead. Let's see. We've got, there was another person that was on D Live the other day, freemantv.com. Let me check out the channel real quick. Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the Coach Eli television network, freemantv.com if you're around. And thank you again to Roy Baser the other day who donated 4 lemons. I appreciate that, bro. I'm still learning the D Live side of things. I'm more so on YouTube. If you want to join me on YouTube, the link is shared in the D Live chat. I'll be checking in periodically on Facebook and D Live to see if there are any, comments there or chat messages, but my primary focus is usually on YouTube. So let's get to the show here. All right, tonight we're going to be discussing Everybody Wants to Rule the World, plus 80's dance stream coming 9/7/21, which is this Tuesday. One more time, the topic of tonight's stream is Everybody Wants to Rule the World, plus 80's dance stream coming 9/7/21. Well, here's how tonight's show is going to go. I'm going to first share this 80's dance stream coming to my channel. It's something unlike anything I've done before. So stick around. I'll share in detail what that is. Then I'm going to do a little brief monologue regarding, why I titled this stream, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. No, I'm not going to be playing the Tears for Fears popular song from the 80's, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I'll probably play that on Tuesday. I'll share more about that in a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to share my thoughts on how I feel that in today's day and age, because of the social media aspect of things, smartphones and all that stuff, how I feel everybody wants to rule the world. And I'm going to share a story on a woman that I connected with on Hinge earlier today. We had a phone call tonight. She gave me her number, and she told me at the end of the call that, I'll tell you, it didn't go anywhere. But there's an interesting reason why it didn't go anywhere, and it's not because of physical attraction. If you guys think that physical attraction is the only thing that women are looking for nowadays, you're wrong. Now, you have to have that because that gets your foot in the door. The physical attraction, you taking care of yourself, physically looking good, right? That's going to get you in the door. Without that, you wouldn't even get in the door. But once you get in the door, now you got to start passing the shit test, right? Unless you're like me, and you shit test women, which is what I always shit test women, right? Because I know they're doing it to me, right? Women biologically and naturally do it. I purposefully do it. I know the right questions to ask. I know how to figure out whether this person is a good fit for me or not, right? And when you ask certain questions, and at the very end, you ask the woman, well, hey, you want to, meet up for a hike or a walk sometime? Where do you want to go from here? And if they're not interested, there's a reason for it. If they weren't physically attracted to your pictures, they wouldn't have given you their number, right? So it's not physical attraction. It's not just physical attraction. These women nowadays are looking for a specific type of guy, right? But what they don't realize is the guy that they think they're looking for is not the guy that they want. And then they always pass up on the guys that would work with them, right? Another very interesting story, which is going to also have me humming my favorite theme song that I've invented regarding these types of guys. We'll get to that in just a second. But first, let's talk about the 80's dance stream coming this Tuesday, September 7th, 2021, right here on the Coach Eli Television Network. It's going to be broadcasted everywhere except Facebook for a reason. So it'll be broadcasted here on my main channel on YouTube, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. It will also be simulcasted on D Live, but it will not be simulcasted on Facebook because of the copyright issues this stream is going to encounter. Okay? This is something that I haven't done before, but I want to do this for you folks, my audience. I want to do something special for you. Something that no other creator you follow has done. I want to create a fun show where I play my top 20 favorite songs of the 80's, which I feel, along with many others, that was the best decade of music. So far, so good on the streaming server. Please don't screw up tonight, YouTube. And in between those songs, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts about what those songs actually mean. We're also going to be discussing what happened during that particular period of the 80s when certain particular songs were released. Like Phil Collins did a song called Another Day in Paradise. Oh, think twice. It's just another day for you and me in paradise, right? The 80s, while we had some of the best music during that time, we also had some of the biggest global issues in our world's history. And yes, we still have many issues nowadays, and people are still starving, right? But it's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be very, very bad in the 80s. And Phil Collins was singing in that song, you know, when you're not happy regarding not getting something your way, right? You know, if you live in the U.S. or Canada or one of these, countries where things are pretty decent, think about what's happening in third world countries where people are starving. He's saying, think twice. It's just another day for you and me in paradise. A lot of people take what they have for granted. That's exactly what Phil Collins was saying. That's exactly the type of music that was written back in the 80s. Right? It had meaning. Songs back then had meaning, right? The songs today are like, I F your bitch. I don't want to get demonetized here. I F your B. I F your B. Dude, I took your girl and I flipped her upside down. And what the hell is this crap that we have nowadays, right? It's crap with a capital C. So I'm going to be doing that stream. I will not be monetizing that video on YouTube because if I monetize it, it will get demonetized. It'll get turned off anyway because it'll have a ton of copyright claims on it, right? So I'm not going to be monetizing it. Now, super chats will still be available and people can donate if they'd like, but it's not necessary. You just will not be getting any ads on this video. And again, it's only going to be simulcasted on D Live. It'll be primarily broadcasted live on YouTube, on my main YouTube channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, with over 4K subs. It'll be simulcasted on D Live because they don't have those copyright issues. But it will not be simulcasted on Facebook because Facebook will shut down the stream for using copyrighted music. Once again, that's coming up this Tuesday, September 7th, 2021. At 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. The show will be about 2 hours long, maybe 2.5 hours at the most. If anybody would like to join me on a panel, please reach out to me behind the scenes. If you're a moderator and you want to join me on a panel that night for the 80s show, let me know and I'll open up the StreamYard. But if no one reaches out to me, I'm just going to run that show myself because I have plenty of content and plenty of things to discuss. So that is that. All right. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to share a story about this woman I was talking with earlier tonight. And then I'm going to get to the Reddit posting, which more so pertains to the topic, right? Everybody wants to rule the world. Right? It seems like, everybody wants to, have the most followers on social media. Everybody wants to be the most popular person on the planet. It seems like it's everybody for themselves nowadays. And it's pretty sad to me because, people work best when they work in teams, when they work together. In addition, like I've been saying all along, men and women work best together in a relationship and a marriage, right? But nowadays, because of the way things are, I keep saying, because of modern day feminism and women being liberated, independent, etc., yada yada yada, right? It has changed the dynamics between men and women, and it even seems like women, as an individual, want to rule the world nowadays, right? And a good guy comes along, and because a woman's mindset is different regarding dating in the modern world, it's almost like you don't stand a chance, right? And in many cases, if you're as intuitive as I am, you can pick this up about women after a 30-minute phone conversation and not even waste your time meeting them. Or you can ask them questions and they can eliminate you for them and for yourself, right? So let me share the story. I connected with a woman, a 44-year-old woman, on Hinge. I think she was 5'7", she looked like she was probably a little bit on the thicker side, but she was cute. She was proportioned. She was attractive enough for me to be attracted to her physically, right? And, I have a lot of my same pictures on all dating apps that I'm on. And one picture I put out there, some of you have seen it that have been following me for a while, is a shirt where I'm wearing, one of the outfits I wore, and I purposefully did this, I wore pajamas and I wore a sweatshirt, and I rolled up the sweatshirt like halfway up on my stomach so it can show that I have a flat stomach, right? And I stood there smiling, had my nice hat on, etc., right? And it's gotten a lot of attention, since I've had it posted for a little while now, right? And this woman made a comment regarding that picture. I think I have a screenshot because I've blocked this woman. So far, we're monetized on this stream here. Great. We're not demonetized yet. Okay, that's good. Let me see here. Oh, here you go. I have it. So she wrote, "Happy Sunday. Interested in knowing the story behind your first photo." The one I just mentioned with my shirt rolled up showing my flat stomach, right? Ma'am, out of everything else on my profile and other pictures, you looked at the part that revealed a sexy part of my body, because that's what you women look at first, right? Right? No physical attraction. It doesn't matter about anything else, right? I wrote back to her and I said, I'm going to substitute ma'am for her name like I always do to protect the supposed innocent, right? I wrote back to her and I said, "Hi, ma'am. It is nice to connect with you here on Hinge. That picture you mentioned has quite an interesting story, and texting you about it won't do it justice, LOL. Would you be open to talking by phone so we can get to know each other better, and I'll share the story of that picture as well? If so, please send me your number and I'll text you to arrange our call. I hope you are having a great day and I look forward to your response." Here's what she wrote back. "Well, now I am very intrigued about your story, Eli. Yes, I would be happy to speak with you on the phone, but cannot at the moment. Can you do 8:30 p.m. tonight?" Ma'am, why did you assume that I was begging you to drop everything the moment I sent you that message for a phone call? Is that because that's what other guys have done? Plenty of other guys have done? The thirsty Betamons, 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 Betamons. I'm going to be singing the Betamon song quite a bit during this show, I'll tell you that. Can you do 8:30 tonight, 8:30 p.m. tonight? I was out at the park taking my walk. I did a 3-lap walk today. I couldn't get my 4 laps, and I did about 3.5 miles, but that's still good enough. I wrote, "Yes, I can do 8:30 or closer to 9. What's your number? And I'll text you in a bit to arrange our call. I can't use this app as the call So I can't use this app for a call as the audio quality is horrible. That's BS. I wanted to invest. I'm sure the call quality on the app is just fine. I just don't want to talk through the app. Plus, they can probably record those calls, right? She's like, got it. My cell is, and gave me her number, right? So she seemed pretty cool, right? No problem. She was sexually attracted to my picture that revealed the most skin, my flat tummy, right? Because a lot of these women, most people nowadays, especially here in the U.S., no disrespect, the majority of people are at least a little overweight or obese. So when you see a guy that seems decent with a flat stomach and is in good shape for his age, sure, it's attractive. I get it. All right. So I sent her a text while I was at the park, and I said, hi, ma'am. It is Eli from Hinge. I'm running a few errands real quick, and I'll be free to call you at 9 p.m. Let me know if that works for you. I look forward to getting to know you better. She's like, sounds good. Speak to you at 9 p.m. Enjoy your errands. I thought it was kind of strange for her to say enjoy your errands. That's a little too much, right? Like errands, I mean, they're not necessarily not fun, but they're not the funnest thing, right? That just was kind of weird to me, right? Right at 9 p.m., ready for my call? Ma'am, I mentioned her name, and she said yes a minute later. So we get on the call, right? We start talking, and I can tell within a minute of the woman's tones. I can tell within a minute by hearing the woman's tones of voice, or tone of voice, which is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm losing my verbiage here, right? If there's going to be a chance of being a connection or not. And this woman seemed kind of antsy, right? She was nice, but she was kind of antsy, right? And she kept like interrupting me, like out of excitement to respond to things, right? I felt something was off, like from the minute I heard her voice, right? But, she seemed nice enough, so I kept going, I kept going on the call. So we started talking about some things, and I shared what I did for a living, and she lives in a neighboring city. She grew up in the same area I grew up in. She knew about my high school, Sarah High School, and she also likes hiking, and she's been to a lot of the hiking trails I've been to. Maybe I've run into her and not even know it. Who knows, right? It seemed like we had a lot in common, right? She's 44 years old, right? She told me she had 3 kids, and her youngest one is 18 and is already out of the house, and she's very successful living in New York. I felt like saying at 18 years old, what is your daughter doing that she's very successful in New York? But I didn't say anything. But guys, put 2 and 2 together and figure out a girl that just turned 18, moved out of the house, just became an adult, is able to get a credible job to where she can live very well in one of the most expensive places on the planet, New York. Living in New York in most areas is almost as expensive as living here in the San Francisco Bay Area in California. So that was kind of weird, right? But anyway, it's all good. No big deal, right? Then she said, I had my first child at 17. That was red flag number 1. So she had a child at 17. That means she was just randomly hooking up, or she had a boyfriend. They didn't use protection, no birth control, and she got pregnant, right? So she's been, she already started her life down the wrong path, in my opinion, right? The one thing I didn't get a chance to ask her, which I should have asked her, how's your relationship with your parents? Are your parents still together? I am curious to know that, but I just didn't think about it because there were enough things we were talking about on this call that were red flags. So, her daughter being 18 and being successful in New York, red flag one. Her having a kid out of wedlock at age 17, that means she was pregnant at 16. That's red flag number 2, right? Then, I asked her, I said, yeah, so how have your experiences been like on Hinge? I'm pretty new to it. She was, I'm pretty new to it too. I've been on it for, about a year or so. Well, I've been on it for a few months, less than a couple months. Do you want me to just share, what's happened? I said, yeah, I like hearing stories. I'm curious to hear your stories. That's interesting to me. And, I also, do that for a living. I told her, about my coaching business and all that, right? So she starts telling me a couple of stories. I'm not going to share those because they all pretty much ended up the same way, and I don't want to bore you folks. I'm going to share the third story. She said she's had 3 relationships since the middle of 2020, right around the time when the pandemic really started to hit and right before they started vaccinating people. And so she's had 3 short-term relationships, right? And she said every single time, she, couldn't, she just didn't want to see these guys anymore. That was the first 2, right? The third one was the most interesting one to me, which tells a story here, right? So she was dating this guy for a couple of months. And she said that, she was spending time at his place. And, then she ended up leaving the next morning. And he ended up calling her the next day and told her that he wants to meet up with her in person to share something with her, right? And she told me when they got together, she said that he told her, I'm feeling, it was a certain way. I'm feeling anxiety. She said that he was having intimate issues, is what she said. She told me he was having intimate issues. And I said, I told her, what do you mean intimate issues? Did he have performance anxiety? Did he have erectile dysfunction? And she's like, no, that was fine. I'm like, okay, well, when you said intimate issues, that's typically the meaning of intimate issues. Well, he said it was anxiety. He had anxiety, being with me. I said, okay, ma'am. Well, that's not. I didn't call her ma'am. I called her by her name. I said, that's not anxiety. But that's not, an intimate issue. That's an emotional issue. It sounds like this guy either has issues that stem back to his childhood. Maybe he came from a broken household. And then she popped on in and said, no, he has a great relationship with his parents, and that's all good. I said, well, then maybe he had a relationship where he experienced this. Maybe he went through some abandonment issues or something. Or maybe he's recently out of a relationship and he hasn't been able to remove that emotional attachment yet from, the last lady. That happens to guys. That's happened to me before. Right? But she goes, at least he ended up telling me in person. And I said, you know what? I actually have a lot of respect for that guy because most people nowadays would just ghost you, right? And she goes, yeah, no, I really appreciate it. I have respect for him. Well, you have respect for him because he told you, ma'am. You don't have respect for him in any other way because he wasted your time. And he told you he was ready when he wasn't ready. Maybe he thought he was ready, but, maybe things progressed a little bit too fast between the two of you. And, it basically made him feel like a lot more pressure than he was ready for. Maybe he was just dipping his feet in the water, right? Because this woman seemed like the kind of woman that was ready to move things forward. And I like that about her, but there were too many red flags, right? So why is this a red flag? Okay? Why is this a red flag? Because no alpha male would have done what this guy did. No alpha male would have felt anxiety and then call up the woman and tell her and tell her that she wants to, or that he wants to meet up with her, and then tell her this, right? No alpha male would do that, right? So this guy obviously is a beta man, beta man, beta man, beta man, beta man. This guy's a beta man, right? Now the story makes more sense when I continue, right? One other thing, that was a red flag. Red flag number 3. Red flag number 4, right? We started talking about hiking and the hiking trail she's been on and I've been on. We've been on many of the same hiking trails, which is what I'm trying to say. And I told her, I said, let me ask you this. Do you have weekends off? She goes, well, I work from home nowadays, and I typically have weekends off. But I typically try to get most of my work done on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And then I have Thursdays and Fridays pretty much off, and Saturdays and Sundays. I'm like, that's great. I have weekends off myself, and I'm flexible because I'm self-employed too, right? I said, let me give you an example of, what it would be like to hang out with me. You let me know what you think about this, right? I gave her an example I typically give. I like romantic weekend getaway trips. Like, let's say going to I use this example a lot. Go to the Sacramento area, the foothills of the Sacramento area near Auburn, the American River, get a nice hotel suite, take a nice drive, go to some nice restaurants and spend the weekend together and do all that, right? And she goes, oh yeah, no, I love trips. I love getting away. As a matter of fact, she goes, I'm going away in a couple of days to Carmel to go do some hiking and to also, get some spa treatment and just to get away from it all for a few days. I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. That's cool. Are you going with some friends? She goes, no, I'm going by myself. And in my head, I'm like, come again? She goes, I'm going by myself. Now, before I tell you what happened next, okay, if you haven't heard of Carmel, okay, Clint Eastwood was actually the mayor of Carmel for a while, many, many years ago, right? Carmel is one of the most exclusive areas to live on the planet as well, too. It's near the Monterey Bay area. The Monterey Bay area is where the famous Monterey Bay Aquarium is at, and Seaside is there, and Carmel, and a few other smaller cities. The Monterey Bay area is pretty much just as, if not almost as expensive as living in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's beautiful. It's a getaway that, I typically will take a girlfriend early on in the relationship. If I take a woman to Monterey, like, I really like this woman, right? It is a romantic place to go on a weekend getaway or a getaway with a woman, right? This woman is going to that area by herself for a couple of days. So I asked her the question next. I said, well, wouldn't you rather go do something like that with a good man if you had a good man in your life? She's like, well, of course, but I don't have that. I don't have that guy in my life right now, and I like doing things on my own sometimes. I like going away and having my own downtime and this and that, right? And right then and there, I was thinking to myself, that is odd. I've never, ever ever talked to any woman my entire life that is going away, would go away on a couple-day trip like that by herself. That's just really odd to me, right? That's just really odd to me. And even if she had plans to go with another guy, I wouldn't care. Maybe she's actually going with another guy, I wouldn't care. If she was going with another guy to Monterey on Tuesday, I don't think she would have, talked with me today. That's just my thought about it. Monterey, Carmel area, same thing. So at that point, I was thinking to myself, oh, she's one of them. This is a radical feminist. This is one of those women that likes to wear the pants. And she tries to act all nice and sweet. But she's the kind of woman that unknowingly wants to wear the pants because she tries to act nice, right? And what type of men has she been attracting? The last guy that, she's dated 3 guys in the last year and they all didn't work out, right? Remember, women have unlimited options nowadays, right? They didn't work out, right? And all these guys, based on the story she shared and what she was saying, were displaying beta male behavior. So why did she give these guys a chance? And then when the alpha male comes in the picture, she didn't give me the chance, right? So I basically told her, I forgot what I told her. I was testing her. And I think I said something that may have offended her. I said, I understand that, women nowadays are independent and, they're making their own money, they're doing their own thing. I mean, I'm saying this respectfully. I totally understand that, but do you always feel the need to do things on your own? Do you feel the need at times to do things completely always on your own? I forgot exactly how I said it, but I was basically calling her out on flexing her independence muscles, right? And after that, I was about to end the call. She had to get going to bed. She had to do something tomorrow with her daughter or something like that, one of her daughters, right? And I had a feeling it wasn't going to go anywhere, but I just asked her. I said, so, yeah, I mean, would you want to go on a hike sometime or, would you like to meet sometime? And she goes, I want to be real honest with you. I'm always honest up front. I just don't think we would be a good fit. And the moment I heard her say that is the moment I went click, block number, and then I blocked her on Hinge. I don't like doing that. It wasn't ghosting her. I just hung up on her. And I wasn't even really frustrated. I just didn't want to waste another second of my time because she was having a conversation with me. She wasn't rushing me off the phone, right? And didn't give me any sign that it wasn't flowing smoothly, right? But let me tell you why this woman said she didn't feel I was the right match for her. It was when I was talking about the independence thing, right? It was about the independence thing. I'm sorry, I had to take care of something real quick. If a woman is not going to be able to handle a respectful conversation on women's lib and, allow me to share my respectful opinion of it, right? If she's going to get triggered over that or she's going to eliminate a guy over that, then that's not a woman in a healthy state, in my opinion. Obviously, she's been on 3 dates or she dated 3 guys short term over the last year, right? all beta males. And then the alpha comes along that would actually treat her right, is a decent looking guy, and would be everything she's looking for, but she eliminates me. Why? Because I'm alpha, right? Because she unknowingly thinks she wants to wear the pants, right? And with the beta male, she's able to wear the pants, right? But what happens, or what happened to every single one of those 3 relationships where she was dating a beta male for the last year? They're no longer together, right? The alpha male, I'm direct, I'm honest, I'm having a cool conversation with her, and she doesn't even want to meet me, right? Now, again, if she wasn't attracted to my pictures, we wouldn't even be talking. This has nothing to do with physical attraction. This has to do with being dismissed for being an alpha male, or being a guy that she perceives wants to wear the pants, and she doesn't want the guy to wear the pants. She wants to wear the pants. I personally don't want to wear the pants, have a woman wear the pants. I personally want things to be equal. I want us to equally respect each other. A relationship to me is not about me wearing the pants and say, hey, woman, do this and that. No. But that's what she perceived me to be like, right? But how was she coming off? She was coming off like she was wearing the pants. That's the problem. A woman like this, what's going to happen is she's going to meet these guys that are betas. She's going to sleep with them. And I'll tell you this, with no disrespect, this woman is going to keep meeting guys, and she'll be sleeping with 3 or 4 different guys at least each year, right? Maybe more, depending how short-term these relationships are. And maybe after she gets with 3 more of these guys, sleeps with them, and the relationship only lasts a month or 2 with them, maybe she'll start to put 2 and 2 together and realize what's really happening. Ma'am, you're giving beta males a chance because they're allowing you to wear the pants. And when the alpha male comes around, that doesn't necessarily want to wear the pants, but is more manly than the guys you're going after. You're thinking I'm trying to control you, which I'm not. I'm a man. I'm a man. You're a woman, right? Anyway, we are at 42 minutes. I was going to go over that Reddit posting. I was going to start it right now during the first half of the show, but I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to come back and go over one Reddit posting for about 30 to 45 minutes. It's a pretty good one from the subreddit Conspiracy Theories. And the title is, does anyone feel like social media and the internet has dumbed a majority of people down despite being a portal to virtual any information? And when I read furthermore, you're going to understand how this comes into play with the topic. Because everybody does want to rule the world nowadays, right? In the 80s, when that Tears for Fears song came out, the internet was not publicly available yet. The internet started, through a bunch of government computers. The internet didn't actually come out. Like, if I look it up right now, let me look it up real quick. Internet inception year. January 1st, 1983 is considered the official birthday of the internet. Prior to this, the various computer networks did not have a standard way to communicate with each other. Became a global commercial network in the 90s. So, January 1st, 1983. But I didn't have my first computer, and things didn't really start to become readily available. Oh gosh, till the late 80s, early 90s. At that point. Yeah, maybe even a little bit after that. That's when we had dial-up modems. Maybe, early 90s or so, right there. Late 80s, early 90s. Okay, so 83 is when it first came out. And Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Excuse me. Was released March 18th, 1985. Well, That says perform. First perform. Release. Date. Boop-boop-boop. Huh. Give me a second here. Everybody wants to rule the world. Why won't it tell me? And 1985 was when it was released. It doesn't say the exact date. Okay, so right around that same time where the internet first came out. All right, folks. Oh, so I'm going to cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. And I'm going to step away, take a quick break, and then come back to that Reddit posting before calling it a night. So let's cue it up, baby. Let's cue it up. Let me see here. Let's see here. All right, music is all queued up. Let's step away for about a 9 to 10 minute break, and we'll get to that Reddit post when we return. So stick around. We'll be right back. Everybody wants to rule the world. You like that background tonight? Pretty cool background, huh? From pixabay.com, unpaid endorsement, where you can get royalty-free, copyright-free, and free for commercial usage images for your YouTube channel or anywhere else. Here we go. Gotta live it up, gotta enjoy life, gotta love it, love it, love it. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Oh, now we're set. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Late Night with Coach Eli edition. Happy Labor Day to each and every one of you out there. And we are broadcasting live on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. We're also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. If you're on Facebook and D Live and you want more than just these in-studio live stream simulcasts, you're going to have to come on over to YouTube, and you'll get mobile live streams exclusively available only on YouTube. You'll also get pre-recorded content at the highest quality from here on out at 4K, 60 frames per second. I do have some pre-recorded content in 1080p from the past, but all my pre-recorded content, for the most part, outside the studio, will be 4K at 60 frames per second. I put out a 4K 60 video earlier on last week, so go back and check it out. Let me know what you think about the quality and the content and the audio and all of that. I also am a monetized channel on YouTube and have a members-only package. For as little as $4.99 per month, you become a channel member, or as much as $99.99 per month. All of my membership packages get you the exact same thing. It's just up to you how much you want to support the channel at a monthly level or on a monthly level. I have 21 members-only videos already, in the package, and many more to come. And I even have 2 members-only live stream replays, and more of those to come as well. If you want more of Coach Eli, come over to YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli, or just search Coach Eli, Elias Melas at the top of the YouTube search bar from your mobile device or your laptop or desktop, and then subscribe, bang the bell, and select all notifications so you won't miss anything. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tonight, or this early morning, we've been discussing Everybody Wants to Rule the World, plus 80's dance stream coming 9/7/21, which is this Tuesday. Yeah, everybody wants to rule the world, right? He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 I can't remember. I think that was the only lyric in the entire song. Well, there are more lyrics too, but that was the chorus there, right? I got the whole world in my hands right now, and the whole world's right behind me. I can just fall back into the world, right? It's the magic of television, folks, right? The magic of a green screen. Yeah, many people have asked me, how do you get those images behind you so clearly? I use StreamYard, and they have like a built-in green screen feature. Well, let me tell you something. What StreamYard does is not real green screen technology, okay? It's simulated. So you're going to have a lot of pixelation and a lot of, jitter, and it's just not going to, it doesn't work that well, right? The way green screen technology works, it's through something called chroma keying, right? Basically, I have this big green screen, or this big green piece of felt on my wall behind me, okay? And the camera actually, can see the green, and it can see me and anything else, in front of the green. And you go into your program. In this case, I use OBS. There are other programs that you can use a green screen through. And what you do is you adjust the similarity and other options to basically Um, it basically tells your camera to wash out all the green, right? Except, it washes out all the green, and then it keeps you in the picture and your microphone or anything else, that you put in the picture, like a drink, right? And then you can put any image behind that. The reason why you can barely tell I'm even on a green screen is because I have a high-quality camera and I have a real green screen, and I use OBS to do what's called chroma keying. So there's your answer on that. Maybe I'll do a video on that down the road to share with you folks how to properly green screen, right? So we've been talking about everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to be, the king and the queen, right? Everybody wants to be, top dog on the internet. I'm going to get more into that in just a second through this Reddit posting, but I want to mention one more time, and if I do any show tomorrow, I'll mention it again. I want to promote a stream coming up this Tuesday, September 7th, 2021, where I'm going to be doing an 80s dance stream, and I'm going to be sharing my top 20 songs of the 80s, what I feel were the best 20 songs of the 80s. I'm going to share the meaning of those songs. I'm also going to share the era of those songs and what was going on during that time, to show you folks how different music is today compared to how it was back then. And I'm also going to be playing those songs in the highest quality. I'm not going to be going on YouTube and playing those videos or anything like that. I'm going to have them. I have them locally on my hard drive in high quality, and I'm going to have some fancy strobe lights and stuff like that behind me, like I've done in my past dance streams. It's been a while since I've done those, but yeah, I wanted to do this because I wanted to give something back to my community. I'm not going to obviously monetize the video like I mentioned during the first segment, because it's going to have a bunch of content ID claims on it, and I wouldn't be able to monetize it anyway, so it will not be monetized. It will also not be broadcasted on Facebook, because Facebook will shut down the stream if you use mainstream copyrighted content. But it will be simulcasted on the live. So yeah, coming this Tuesday, September 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be on for at least 2 hours, but probably no more than 2.5 hours. And I'm even willing to bring a panel of people on. So if any of my moderators or people that I know would like to join me on that show, have a little fun, and discuss the meaning of those songs compared to the songs we have today, reach out to me. You can email me, message me on Messenger, Google Chat, etc. You know how to get in touch with me. If not, I'll just run the show myself. I have plenty of content to go over. It's going to be very entertaining and very informative as well. Let's just call it what they call that here on YouTube, edutainment, right? The made-up word, edutainment. It's entertaining, educational information. All right. Let's get to the browser screen and get on over to the one Reddit posting I have tonight. This is very interesting, pertains to the topic. Okay. And this is from the subreddit Conspiracy Theories. And the topic posed by the original poster: does anyone feel like social media and the internet has dumbed a majority of people down despite being a portal to virtual any information? I think they meant to say virtually any information. That's okay. We'll let the grammar slide. This was posted 10 days ago. Very new and very relevant. I was born in 1999. 2000 party over. Out of time, right? So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999. God rest your soul to the late great Prince, right? Yeah, 1999. So you're 22 years old. You are a Gen Zer, I believe, right? You're either tail end millennial, early on Gen Zer. I was born in 1999. I'm sorry. I'm saying I'm sorry because, man, you kids nowadays are living in a different world than we've ever lived in. And can remember a time before using social media and the internet being in our everyday life. Dude, you were born with the internet. What are you talking about? In 1999, we all had dial-up and some people already had cable internet. You were 0 years old. In 2000, you were 1. Like, dude, come on. Jesus. He remembers the time before using social media and the internet being in our everyday lives. Social media, by the time that this dude was 10 years old, 2009, Facebook was already out. Dude, you make yourself sound like you're a Gen Xer, like myself, or an early on millennial. The early on millennials I can understand. But, dude, no, you're young. I remember calling people on a landline. Dude, you're born in 1999. Cell phones were already becoming made. Well, maybe not quite yet, but they were. Sorry, no, cell phones were. I got my first cell phone. When I was working at Costco in 1995, I believe. 1995. No, dude, cell phones were mainstream. We still had landlines as well back then. But he's like, I remember calling people on a landline and going days without even using the internet. Wasn't it nice? Now we got these damn things that do everything. Pocket sized, right? 5G. We're going to get gigabit speeds over the cell tower wherever we're at, even while we're driving. It could be just my naive, underdeveloped mind. No, dude, you just grew up during the wrong time, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I have respect for you, but I get what you mean. It sounds like your parents are old souls. And it sounds like you don't like the way the modern world is. And I don't blame you. But things felt way more real. People seemed happier, more active, and more intelligent. Right. You're right. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that, brother. You're absolutely right. People were happier. People were more intelligent. People wrote in complete sentences. Now they text, they're like, HRU, right? They write the letter H, the letter R, and U instead of how are you doing, right? Right? Or if they send you a text, they'll say HMB, hit me back, right? Hit me back, right? Or hit me up, or let's hook up, right? Hook up, hit me up, right? This dude's an old soul. I like him. He's 20, probably almost 22 years old, and he's an old soul. Fast forward 10 years, and it seems like there's a very large number of people whose attention span has been diminished to the point where they can no longer hold a regular conversation. Right. Right. Let me check out the chat real quick. When I came across this posting, it really, really hit home with me. It really, really hit home with me. Oh, we're still monetized. That's good. I don't have to submit this one for manual review. That could change. All right, let's continue. Everyone is also so quick to Google something instead of actually discussing it. Right. Right. I used to play those games where, I'd be like, remember the show Jeopardy? Used to ask my friends questions, right? Now you ask somebody a question, if they don't know the answer, they try to sneak their smartphone underneath the table, right? And try to Google it quick and make it appear like they know the answer. But we all know you're Googling it on your damn smartphone, right? I believe TikTok and Vine have had something to do with this. So has YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, you name it, bro. It's all social media on the internet, bro. And it's these smartphones that go wherever we go. I go to sleep with this damn thing. It's still a phone. You need it for emergencies, but yeah, they're everywhere, bro. We can't turn them off. I mean, I know how to manage mine, right? But still, yeah, it's distracting, and it's affected us. Short videos that give a little dopamine hit each time. Right. They emotionally suck you in. Or the cute woman that's wearing a low-cut shirt or low-cut dress, right? Wearing makeup with her hair down, speaking provocatively to you, right? I have many friends who are addicted to that stupid app, and I can tell it has affected them. It's affected everyone, brother. Everyone, right? I just want to take their phones and smash them. Bro, I'm going to give you another big round of applause for that. Dude, wow. This is a 22-year-old Gen Zer, I generation, post-millennial, right? Dude, you're like the coolest young guy I've ever come across. I bet the women have no idea what to do with you. You're probably like such an alpha male. And probably like the women, they want you, but it's like you don't want them because they are behaving the way that you're discussing that disgusts you. Good for you, bro. Good for you, bro. I have to give you another big round of applause for that, bro. Another round of applause. Double round of applause. Double round of applause for that, dude. You made my night with that. I just want to take their phones and smash them. Dude, this is a $1,400 effing phone. Now, there are times where I feel like smashing this, bro. But I've actually, now the glass on these phones are super tough. They're Gorilla Glass, like version 6 or something. Plus, I've got the spec clear case to where if I drop this thing, it won't even break. They're hard to break, but I'm sure you could break them. But yeah, I feel the same way sometimes, dude, and I really wish that at least somewhat we could go back to the way things were. But what really changed everyone was the smartphone. When laptops and desktops were on the internet with broadband internet, cable, and DSL, it wasn't as bad. It got really bad when these smartphones finally started getting 3G. This was about 10 years ago. And then once they got 4G and LTE, it was over. Now they have 5G. These things are faster than most people's home internet connections, except mine, unless you're lucky enough to have fiber in your area like I did, 1,000 up, 1,000 down. But yeah, these things in most cases are faster than people's internet connections at home. Let's see what the crowd had to say about this. Comments. Virtually any information. This is the problem. Yes, you can use the internet to find information on everything from the nutritional value of broccoli to how the moon landings are fake. The internet is full of information. Some of it is true. Some is partly true. Some is true but misleading. Some is false but sounds true. Some is downright false, and a multitude of gradients between true and false. Dude, I got to give you a big round of applause for that. Well said. You can't always believe what you read. That's why I like to say seeing is believing. If someone has an opinion, they can find someone somewhere on the internet that shares it. They reinforce each other, right? They reinforce each other, right? They validate each other, right? On how right they are. I got a new digital buddy. I feel cool. I feel like I'm socializing digitally. Even if the rest of the world tells them they are wrong, they know that at least one other person shares their opinion, so they aren't wrong. Right. That's part of the problem with the internet. Like you can have someone go out there and say something completely preposterous, right? And if just one other person on the planet agrees with that person on the internet, That's validation enough for that person to feel like, what they're saying is actually right, even though it's wrong. I disagree with this. Check out my site, dailyrealnewssource.com, for all the realest truth. Dude, nice pitch there, bro. Yes, people are very easily manipulated through mass advertising and propaganda. Well, yeah. What do you think supports all this content? It's advertising. Sponsors and advertisers, right? For the most part, unless you have a product or service to offer yourself, okay? But even then, you still have to advertise it, right? It's all about the money. The internet, let me tell you, the internet has made it very, 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 very simple, not only to make money, but to also, I hate to say it, steal money from people by selling them a pipe dream, right? Yeah, got to be careful. Lots of scams on the internet too. I was born in 1984. I tell my kids these days, there is no excuse for people to be stupid because you have everything readily available at your fingertips. Right. Going back to this thing again. However, the social media and internet addiction has made people stupid and antisocial and closed-minded who believe only in what they get told. Right. They get sucked into that vortex, right? Why? In my opinion, because their personal lives are so pathetic and miserable, right? And because they feel they can't go out there and meet people to hang out with in real life and socialize with them, they come to the internet to fulfill that void, right? And they look for people that are going to agree that their bullshit is the right thing when it isn't. Yes, I agree as well. While I sit on my phone scrolling through social media because of my addiction. That crying out of laughter emoji that Queen uses. Queen's been pretty busy lately. I missed you, Queen. Where are you at? Where are you at? Dude, I got to give you a big round of applause, man. That was a pretty funny, snarky remark there. Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh, man. Exactly that. People don't discuss, now they declare opinions. I believe in Bill A since my favorite actor made a tweet about it. Let's talk about that. I've been scrutinized about when people say things to me about me, that is their opinion. Okay, here's the thing. There's a difference between something being a fact and something being an opinion. Okay? In actuality, anything can be declared an opinion, right? Unless it's a proven fact, completely a proven fact. But even then, you have some people that are crazy and they're like, okay, well, your proof is fabricated, so I'm going to consider this an opinion, right? People don't discuss, now they declare opinions. There's nothing wrong with sharing an opinion about anything as long as you share that opinion respectfully, professionally, and maturely, like I always say, right? But what happens on social media? Here's what happens. People fabricate so many things. They create drama on purpose. They instigate drama on purpose by doing this kind of stuff, right? Just to get all eyes on them because drama sells. Like I mentioned on my stream yesterday, and if you missed it, check it out. I had to re-upload my backup copy because while I was live, the live streaming server was having issues. But go back and check out that stream, Facing the Final Curtain. I talked more about that there. All right. I believe in Bill A since my favorite actor made a tweet about it. Yeah, some people are ridiculous. They get so emotionally attached to the person that they believe everything that they put out or say, right? to a point, I don't think having information at your fingertips is what helps stupidity. It almost makes it worse because it eliminates the need for critical thinking. Dude, that is beautifully said, right? I'm all for critical thinking. All for it, right? And even though I love the internet and I love the access we have nowadays, while I may use the internet to research things like these topics I do and come to these forums, when I do these reaction videos on my YouTube channel and my video network, I'm doing critical thinking. I'm sharing my thoughts and my opinions. Most people don't do that. I get it. Back in the day, you had to figure shit out and think to solve problems or form opinions. Now, people base their intelligence and thought process entirely on the top 5 search results from Google, right? That's called trending, right? They look at what's trending, right? The reason why they do that is because if they get on that trend on YouTube and other social media platforms, that's what gets them the most traction. They're trying to use those trends, ride those trends to get ahead. It's all fabricated, right? 90% of the stuff you see on social media, in my opinion, is fabricated in some way, shape, or form. I feel I'm one of the people in the 10% bracket that's a genuine person trying to truly help people and not trying to force them into anything or sell them a pipe dream. Social media is the real culprit here. The internet in itself is such a gold pot of information that can be discovered instantaneously. Instant gratification, right? Instant gratification is what it's all about for each individual. Every single individual, for the most part nowadays, is seeking instant gratification through the internet. It's not right and it's not healthy. And have I been stuck into that vortex in the past? Yeah. But I pulled myself out of that because you know what? I'm not about instant gratification. I'm about working hard to earn everything that I accomplish. I have literally learned how to DIY most things myself through the internet. Well, that's true. I've done that through YouTube. I've repaired laptops and other electronic, components. Right now, I actually I have a pair of Ray-Ban Wayfarers. I got on a really, really good deal for like right around 100 or 110 bucks. They're like $150, $160 sunglasses, but I found a really good deal on them about 6-7 years ago. These glasses they last forever, right? They're made very well. They're handmade in Italy. They're very strong, right? The problem is after a while, you're out there in the sun and you sweat, right? And they get oxidized, right? So there's some white spots and it's hard to get that off. So last night I said, you know what? Let me go to YouTube and see if I can find a few videos on guys or gals removing oxidation or cleaning up these sunglasses, making them look new again. So now later tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to go on the internet, and I'm going to buy those products and I'm going to fix my sunglasses, make them brand new. I'm going to spend about 10, 15 bucks, and that way I don't have to buy a pair of sunglasses for 140 bucks when they're perfectly fine. I just need to get them clean. It's just the oxidation. If you've ever had sunglasses, especially black sunglasses, you can see that white on the side, right? That's oxidation from sweat and the sun and, salt and all that stuff. So yeah, I love the DIY. The DIY stuff is actually good. Like that's good real content. That's very helpful stuff. It's made citing sources easier, etc. But in my opinion, from 30-plus-year-olds, social media is the real problem. You're right. You're talking from a 30-plus-year-old? Well, social media, like I've said in the past, It's not changing us, it's exposing us. Gary Vaynerchuk, also known as Gary V, a very popular content creator on YouTube and many other platforms, and a great public speaker. He's very well known. He says that time and time again. And whenever I come across something like this to where it makes sense for me to say it, I'll say it again. Okay, social media is not changing us, it's exposing us, right? All the stuff you see on social media nowadays is exactly how people are in real life for the most part, right? Some things are amped up and fabricated, but it's how people really are. The reason why it's more apparent nowadays is because social media is a global platform. Social media platforms are global platforms, which is what I'm trying to say, to where anyone in the world can access this information at any time on their smartphone, laptop, desktop. Yeah. Next lesson for them, run-on sentences. I've seen many of those too, even in these Reddit forums. There is no excuse for people to be stupid with the internet. It is not the internet's fault. People choose the most batshit crazy sites to believe in. Right. In order to read and write on the internet, you have to have reading skills and writing skills with proper grammar and spelling. These kids nowadays are learning grammar and spelling on a computer. It's not the same. When you read from a book and you write on a piece of paper, you retain information and learn things better. I'm fortunate that I grew up during a time where I learned the old school way by reading actual books and writing on a piece of paper. To the point of where now, yes, I'm on the internet. I do type things on Microsoft Word or use email, and I read, these digital websites instead of newspapers, but I'm already literate and I have excellent grammar and spelling skills because I learned it the old school way. These kids are not learning the old school way nowadays anymore. They're not. Let me check out the chat real quick. We are at 1 hour and 29 minutes. We're going to wrap this up, folks, in about 5 minutes or less. I'm going to read a couple more, then I'm going to go off the air. So get your questions, comments, concerns in. Double-edged sword. So much info in the palm of our hands, but few choose it. Door knowledge. Many use it for nonsense. Yeah, I agree. Nothing more to add to that. It is easier to find information, good information and bad information. At the moment, the noise is beating the signal. And it's not close, dark times. There's way more negative stuff, fake stuff, and, misinformation on the internet than real stuff. So, my Orwellian friend, did the thought police get to you? And we're talking about thought, T-H-O-U-G-H-T, as in thinking. Couple more here. Because the internet has changed. Internet in the 80s and 90s used to be like a forum where I can be me and ask questions on games or comics, and people would usually be nice and have civil conversation. Kazaa internet died a long time back when it started to be commercialized. Internet is now just a paywall for corporates. It is impossible to browse the internet without being tracked by Google or Amazon or any other company. Too many high walls. It's all about the money nowadays. And it used to be about the money back then, but they had not figured out ways to monetize these platforms, and they didn't even have the technology to monetize these platforms in the ways they do it today. Yeah. When the internet first came out, there was internet relay chat and places you could go and just hang out with cool people. I'm sure internet relay chat and other places are still available. The difference is there are many people nowadays, if not anyone and everyone in some capacity is trying to make some money off the internet. So they're trying to get on the mainstream platforms like Google and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and they're trying to make money. So it's all become commercialized. Yeah, I get it. You're right. It's sad but true. Come here to say this. The internet used to be much different before social media and advertising proliferated. The other day, there was a major thread on Twitter or Reddit, I don't remember now, about how Google has changed in the past 10-ish years. The smarter the search algorithm gets, the dumber the search results. Right? Right. It used to be easier to search and get a wide variety of good information on the first page, but now you get much more specific info relating to what Google thinks you want to see because they track you with cookies. I don't think social media is making people dumber per se, but it is definitely addictive and causes or exacerbates all kinds of mental health issues. I agree with that. I disagree with the fact when you say you don't think the internet's making people dumber. I think that it's affecting people that went through grammar school or are going through grammar school now during a time where they don't use paper anymore to handwrite things. They don't have books. Everything's digital. They're all trying to save money, right? So everything is digital, and when you do it digitally, you don't retain the information as easily. That's the problem right there. So yes, it has made people, maybe dumber is a harsh word, but it's become more difficult for people to learn and retain information. And the way that between that and our youth nowadays being very lazy, you see it with the texting conversations. Even women in their mid-30s, some women in their early 40s too. They're using short code, HBU, how about you? Sup, instead of how are you doing today? Or good afternoon. They just say hi, right? Yeah, it's ridiculous. You had internet in the 80s, huh? It was around, but it was very slow dial-up. It wasn't until the late 80s or early 90s where it started to really become more available, and it really didn't take off until people started getting broadband connections. I mean, they started deploying cable internet like in 1995, 96, but it wasn't available in my area until about 1999 or so, or 2000, right around there. You figure, the Bay Area would be one of the first places to get broadband internet, but it wasn't, at least in my area. Now the Bay Area is getting everything first. We got fiber. I can't even believe we have fiber almost everywhere in the Bay Area. That's awesome. Well, there's money for it here. People can afford it, so they prioritized it and we got it. But it wasn't always like that. You had internet in the 80s. Yes, myself included. I don't even know what to believe anymore. There is so much information. Like trying to drink from a fire hose. Right. You blast the fire hose, right? Full blast. You try to drink, it's going to knock you out, right? With all that pressure from the water pressure. My sister drives me out to different communities and makes me take photos of her on her Jeep. I'm so embarrassed for myself while I take the photos. Sometimes I get an ice cream out of it. Yeah, she does that to then go on Instagram and get all these likes from thirsty beta males. I remember when creativity was rewarded in public school systems. One more here. Now they are literally taking anything artistic out of schools. Art, music, cursive writing. Right, cursive writing. I even read an article the other day saying they were no longer going to have reading, writing, and math. Now you're being ridiculous. Like what? How is this even possible? I feel so bad for what future generations are going to be like. I feel like the schools are also a big part of making people dumber. Schools are trying to make money now. They're more every bit here. This is the problem nowadays. Every business nowadays has become. I mean, about what it takes to make more money, regardless of what they have to sacrifice. The education system is not what it used to be. Let me read a couple more. This is interesting. TikTok is also forming teens' personalities. As a teen myself, I hate to see it for the fact that everyone is the same. No originality anymore. Right. They're all copying each other. But if you're a woman and you're cute, doesn't matter what you do. You get on the camera and you're going to have thousands of thirsty beta males liking you and following you. Bro, I agree with this so much. Literally everyone wants to be an influencer, yet ends up looking the same. Right. Everybody wants to rule the world, like my topic, right? Everyone wants to be an influencer, yet end up looking the same, acting the same, etc. Like no one wants to explore new ideas and just, be themselves. It's frustrating. Right. That's why I do what I do. Nobody does what I do. I mean, there are other coaches, but nobody coaches the way I do. Nobody creates content the way I do. I'm unique. You need to be unique and stand out. Agreed. It can be mildly entertaining sometimes for me, an older person, but honestly, I get so annoyed when I see the same exact skits or whatever you want to call them done over and over again. That's called reused content. And it's actually against YouTube's terms of service. But if different people are creating the same type of content, that's original to them, but the idea is not original in general, so they're not going to get a lot of traction on it, even if it's not violating the guidelines. What's worse is people are deathly afraid to be themselves. Right. What's worse is people are deathly afraid to be themselves. That's the main thing right there. That's a beautiful place on where to end this show. Beautiful place to end this show. Give me a second here, folks. Boop, boop, boop. All right, we're going to start wrapping this up. We are at 1 hour and 39 minutes. I'm going to go back to full screen. And one more time, I'm going to keep on pumping this up because I want to get as many people as possible to enjoy this stream coming up on my channel from the studio, my YouTube channel, and on D Live. It will not be simulcasted on Facebook for copyright reasons. I'm going to be doing an 80's dance stream this Tuesday, September 7th, 2021 at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to be playing my top 20 favorite songs of the 80's in very high quality, locally from my hard drive. I'm not going to be using YouTube videos. I have all these in MP3 format in high quality. The stream on YouTube will not be monetized because it'll have content ID claims. And once the stream ends, I will delete it and re-upload it to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams because it will have a bunch of copyright claims. But I want to do it on my main channel for a few reasons. You can still super chat if you'd like and send a super sticker. And more people are aware of my main channel than my other channel. So again, this Tuesday, September 7th, 2021, 80's dance stream is coming to this channel. And D Live, it won't be broadcasted on Facebook because of the copyright thing. We're going to have fun. And I'm going to share with you folks the meaning of these songs compared to the songs we have today and how, that's affected us. I really want as many people to see this as possible, especially people that, are growing up in the modern world. And they're living in a world where, we have songs that are saying, I banged your B-I-T-C-H, right? I F'd your B-I-T-C-H, right? It's like, it's sickening to me. And these kids love that type of music, right? My ex-girlfriend's 2 teenage daughters. Her oldest one would listen to that stuff. I heard her when I was with my ex Dana. I heard her daughter playing a song one time. That was saying, I effed his beat. I effed his beat. I'm not going to say it and get demonetized, right? And she was a good girl, but she was into that music. So was everyone else. How meaningful is that? How degrading is that? And women complain that, men are talking smack about women and shaming women. You got women listening to guys talking that way about women, and they're enjoying that music. So yeah, join me this Tuesday, September 7th, 2021 at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for the 80's dance stream. With that being said, folks, I'm going to get on out of here. I have many other things to do, and then I got to get some rest. I'll be back tomorrow. I may even do a Walking with Purpose stream, and maybe an in-studio stream after that. It just all depends. It all depends on how my day goes. What was I going to say? I was going to mention one other thing, but I totally forgot. Oh, yeah, I was going to say this. If you haven't had a chance to watch my stream from yesterday, I had to re-upload it, like I mentioned earlier, because when I was doing it live, there were some server issues. And so it was kind of glitchy. So I re-uploaded the backup copy that I record while I'm streaming out live. Check it out. It's called Facing the Final Curtain. And I made some decisions on what's going to happen to this channel, or what may happen to this channel if things don't change by a certain date. So you want to find out more about that? It's only, I think it's, how long was that video? It was 52 minutes and 55 seconds. So check it out when you get a chance and let me know what you think. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. And with that being said, have yourselves a great night or a great morning. Please be safe today on Labor Day. Do not drink and drive. And I will see you all next time. Take care. Goodbye, Louis. See you tomorrow. Take care. You just hit 570. Congratulations, bro. Take care. Bye. Bye.